to talk about Strap, which is a new template for Interchange. And my name is Josh Lavin, and I work with Perusion, which is, you all know Mike Hines and myself and Greg Hansen, who is out stalking game in Idaho right now. So, we work with Interchange, and we are hiring. So we have a new template for Interchange called Strap, and some of our goals with developing that was to kind of clean up the code some. We wanted to use HTML and CSS as much as possible for the design. We wanted to optimize it for search engine optimization, and we wanted to improve usability, mostly during the checkout process, and then the speed of the site. There were some things we could do to speed that up. So the state of the current Interchange standard template. So the Interchange, of course, comes with a demo, the tool store. And it's pretty old. It hasn't been updated in a long time. It uses table tags for layout. The menus use inline JavaScript. So if you have a drop-down menu, all the JavaScript is contained inside the page, which has to download on every page. And so because of the table tags and that stuff, it's hard to update to a totally different design, and it's not mobile friendly either. The Strap template that we've created, it uses div tags and CSS for layout. Table tags are restricted to just tabular data. We put all the drop-down menus in CSS, and then there's additional JavaScript file that's loaded for additional functionality. And because it's CSS, it's easy to change the design. And it is inherently mobile friendly. It's not like super duper mobile friendly, but it's a good start towards it. So here's the picture of the current Interchange demo catalog. And this is using our table layout behind the scenes. And this one is the new Strap catalog. So you'll notice that several things are different, looks a little cleaner, whatever. But here's the back end of the code on the old standard template. And here we have some table tags used for navigation. And here's our inline JavaScript for the drop-down menu. And then by contrast, this is the Strap HTML. It's HTML5. It includes CSS files. And then this kind of breaks out in lines, but these are list items used for a menu. So, so here's a comparison of the mobile checkout. On the left side is the standard template. Right side is the Strap template. You'll notice that there is no horizontal navigation, no horizontal scroll bar on the new one. And so that's just a little taste of that. But what Strap is based on is Bootstrap, which is this, it's like a standardized set of HTML and CSS introduced by the folks at Twitter. And
are you on 2.3 or are you going to go to 3.0?
This is based on 2.3. That's what we had available when we started. And 3.0 is such a big shift.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get there with our 2.0. But Bootstrap just provides a lot of good, starting points for design. It's got some nice buttons and everything, form fields. And then one thing that it has is the grid system. So if you think of your page as a column of 12, then you can split off. If you have just one column, it can be 12 things wide. Or you can have, 2 and 2, or a left sidebar and a big right content area. So Strap builds on all that stuff. And the other nice thing about Bootstrap is that there's a lot of free templates out there you can download, and with a little bit of work you could update the Interchange template to use those. And then in addition to the new design, we've added some new features and stuff in Strap. So one of those, which I think is pretty cool, is on category pages. So I've overlaid two windows here with the URL bars. But the bottom one is the old standard, and it uses, this is the hand tools category. So it uses the old scan URL to pull up the content, And you'll notice that the URL is really long and it's not SEO optimized. The new one is at the top, which is just /hand tools. And we've replaced spaces with dashes and that kind of stuff. So I think that's a really big boost to the SEO capabilities of Interchange. And the way that we've done that, this might be kind of hard to see, but it's a little subroutine that's existed in catalog CFG for a long time called incheck.
Did you get rid of scan altogether?
No, it's still there. So
Yeah.
the incheck subroutine basically runs if there's a missing page. And so if there's no physical page, incheck runs, and so it checks to see, is this a category? Is it a prod group / category? And if so, it basically creates the search parameters and sets those as, I guess, their values, back-end stuff to the page. So it'll then load that, and then just, it's kind of like an action map. But the other nice thing about using this incheck that we've tacked onto it is for more pages. And historically, in Interchange, the more pages have used this MM equals, and then there's this long session ID. And so this is like page 2 of the, let's see, hand tools. So the problem with this is that this is a session-specific next page. And because it's session-specific, Google can't crawl it. And you can't share a link with your friend. So instead of that, what we've designed is a /next or /previous or /2/3 for each page. And so let me show you the little code for HTML. This is hand tools /1, which is the very first page, also known as /hand tools. So we've added this canonical tag, which just tells Google it is really /hand tools. You can ignore the /1. And then Google also allows us to specify a next or previous. So we've said, hey, this is a page in a series, and the next one is /2. So that's all included in the strap template, and it adds those meta tags for you. So another feature is password resets. We no longer email plain text passwords, which is not a good idea. We instead create a little encoded link, which expires once clicked the first time, and it's good, I think, for 24 hours. So it's just a much more secure way to reset a password for a user. The other thing that we have taken out is the old cookie login, which when you log in, there used to be a little checkbox, remember me. And what that did in the current Interchange is it would set cookies, which I'm showing here, MV password and MV username. And the problem with that is it's plain text, as you can see. It's not set secure, and it doesn't expire when someone logs out. So because that's not secure, we just disabled it. You can still turn it back on if you want, but hopefully maybe we'll create an alternative remember me system. And then gift certificates. That's been a feature of Interchange. Oh, I'm sorry, do you have a question, Ryan?
Did you ever look at the secure cookie stuff? You encrypt the contents of the cookie inside?
Yeah, but I guess we'd have to add some more functionality and make that expire at logout. Because what could happen is if someone is on your same network or whatever, hijacks your cookies, and then even if you log out, they could still be using your session. So we want to make sure that we get
No, I mean what the Dancer's using. There's this secure session engine and secure cookie session engine, and all the contents of the cookie is encrypted, so no third party can read that, even if it gets hold of the cookie.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone's snooping on your connection, they could steal your cookie. They don't have to read it, but they could still use that cookie to access your
Of course.
Yeah. So I mean, but that can happen even any time. But what we want to make sure is when someone clicks log out, which I mean, I don't ever log out from Amazon, but when I do, that cookie is invalidated. So we want to make sure that we do that. But gift certificates have been a feature, but they haven't been quite fully baked. So we've kind of expanded on that. This is a redemption page that someone's visiting, and what we've done is had a little action map. So instead of running like page search / redeem question mark code equals whatever, we do a little action map. So this first number is the code, and then the slash, and then this is the check value, like a pin. So that's the redemption page, and then that sets a cookie like it always does. And then this is a screenshot of the finalized page during checkout. And so they can choose if they want to apply their gift certificate, and then any remaining balance they'll pay for with a credit card. And so when they click that, it refreshes the page and updates right here so they can see exactly what they're paying with a gift card and what they're paying with a credit card. Stock alerts. The old standard, when an item was out of stock, they could sign up for an email reminder when it came back in, but all that ever did was email the store owner, and so then the store owner was responsible to manually update everybody. So we've added that to a database, and then there's an interchange job that just automatically will send out notices when the item's back in stock. And then the checkout usability has been improved, which this is a shipping address page. And so what we did at Perusion is we ended up buying a guideline from a research group, and it had a bunch of best practices for checkout that they'd observed users and how that worked. And so we've added a lot of little help text over here, and omitted a couple fields like phone, evening phone. We didn't think anybody really used that. But that's that. And this is the finalized page. So we've kind of put the payment information in a little block with a different background, kind of set that off. And see what else we got. The other thing that we've done is we've set up email as username by default. And of course, you could change that, but we just chose that because it seems to be popular. Amazon does it. So we've kind of updated everything to work with that. And I guess the advantage of that is that it tries to eliminate duplicate accounts. So if someone comes in and they want to sign up for a new account, if they've already got one with that email, it's gonna, hey, this account already exists. But it doesn't prevent them from buying without logging into their account. But it tries to clean that up, and it uses basically a second field in the user database called user nick. So everybody actually has a username that's sequential, but they never see it. It's like a U123, U1234. And so whenever they change their username, it just changes the user nick and not the actual username field. So everything can stay linked up. And then the content editor in the admin, it's never really worked really well, I guess, the last Interchange version or two. So we took that out. We just hid the tab. And in place of it, there's a little thing that's existed for editing pages, but it's never really been known about. But if you set a little scratch here in your page code, editable, then if you log into the admin and go back to your catalog, at the bottom you'll see a little thing down here just for the admin users. And if a page is marked editable, they'll have the edit page data button. And if we click that, we get a big text area with the content of the page, and that user could then edit it, click the change button, and it's instantly updated. So obviously, like, this isn't real user-friendly because it's got a lot of HTML code and IPL stuff, but that's just the starting point. If you wanted to do a WYSIWYG widget, you could do that, or some sort of filter that would automatically create the HTML for you. And then finally, we decided to change how searches were done. It used to be when you did a search on the old standard catalog, this is the search results page, and it was submitted as a post. So we don't actually see any of the CGI parameters up here. And really, searches should be sent as gets. So the new strap template changes that. And so this S parameter is the actual search keyword. And we went with that because we're using a search profile, which is page one more here. So if we ended up changing the original standard to a get, we'd have this really, really long string of all the search parameters. And so because we use a search profile, we can just call out the profile named S, and then it automatically sets all those parameters in the background. And then our search term is known as S equals whatever. And we did that because I found it was the easiest way to, instead of specifying SE for search spec, it'd get all kind of crazy stuff. So that's just the way that I found it worked. And so the advantage of doing this now is that we can have Google Analytics track the searches, and we can see what the most popular searches are, and all that. So, in summary, this is available now in GitHub, and it's free, and patents are welcome. More features are hopefully coming soon. Any questions?
On the editing, have we put in the version control?
No.
Okay, well, we did that, right? We just haven't integrated.
I took it out because I didn't want to put in too much to start with, but
Okay.
I think that could be a new feature. And basically what Mike's referring to is this, when they edit this, we had worked on a deal where it could save the versions to a separate file, I think it was, and that way you could go back if the user screwed something up. But I didn't put it in the default release.
Yeah, it had two modes. One which was just a database sequential time, using the teleport feature of Interchange, which nobody probably has ever used but me. Or else you can do the same thing. We just use Linux's standard RCS command to maintain in-place versioning.
Mm-hmm.
And we do automatic check-ins and check-ins of new versions. But the teleport would be kind of neat, except nobody ever decided to adopt it.
Is there a live demo on GitHub?
No, but actually, let's see. If you go to josh.perusion.com/c/strap, I have the demo up there, so that can be looked at if you want. Any other questions?
The login by email address, is that, do we have that?
You do not, no.
Is there any reason why we can't have that?
No.
Okay.
But I think if you've got existing login system, like you're using the standard username,
Right.
then you don't want to just jump to only email is accepted as the username, because then you'll eliminate, you'll alienate all your existing users.
You can use both.
And
Yeah.
use both.
Yeah, we do that too. We can set it up to use either or. But you obviously have to make sure it's a unique email address, unless you've got a unique key in your email field. You don't want, there'll be ambiguity. So you may have a user that created 5 usernames with the same email address. Very difficult to log them in by their email address. So you have to somehow remove that ambiguity. But what we've done before is typically scan the user DB, look to see if there was a unique match on a username, and then log that person in based on an email.
I think that having the username or email address is the way to go, but for this demo, we didn't do that at the beginning.
What happens if a person changes their email address? Is that?
Yeah, there's a change email form now under the member account pages, and that allows them, I could show you if you want, see if I can log in here. Well, it doesn't seem to like me. It was C. Kirk.
C. Kirk and Kirk. If it's the old
Oh,
password, C. Kirk and Kirk.
Where's my screenshot of the cookie? Kirk and C. Kirk.
Usually it's just Kirk.
Well,
Kirk is the username and Kirk is the password.
Let's try it on my local version here. Oh, I don't think I have that running. Anyways, there's a change password page, or a change email page, which is like the change password.
And that's where you can check to see whether the email is unique to that user ID, if you want to.
And then on the shipping address, instead of showing the email, this would just be it would just show their email. It wouldn't have a text field, and there'd be a little help to change email that would link to that member change email page. So that's the way that works. All right, well, that's it. So thank you very much.